Hello and welcome to Zagreb in Croatia, and standing next to the statue of a great man, Nikola Tesla. He was born in the former Austrian-Hungarian Empire in 1856. He was born into a Serbian family, but the land where he lived is now called Croatia. And everyone tries to claim a bit of him, and you can understand why, because he was a remarkable inventor, not least in the area of electrics and electric motors. And he went to America for most of his working life, and he has more than 300 patents to his name. And it was Tesla that understood how you can tap in to the electromagnetic, electrical reality beyond the world of the scene and turn it into usable warmth and power. Got a little list here of what Tesla created. This is just some of them. Alternating current and the electrical systems basically we use today. Fluorescent lights, he invented those 40 years before they were actually officially invented and put into production. X-rays was something else that he understood, because he could see that there were other levels of reality and you could tap into it through electrical and electromagnetic means, radiation means. Radio. Tesla was on to the whole principle of radio before Marconi. Marconi gets the plaudits as the person who invented radio, but actually Tesla beat him to it. Remote control. I mean, we take remote control technology for granted today, but he was the first one that saw the potential of it and showed how it could work. Electric motors come down to Tesla. The laser, of course, which is absolutely at the heart of so much modern technology, goes back again to Tesla. And then wireless. Oh yeah, I've got Wi-Fi. Yeah, we've all got Wi-Fi. Yeah, wireless communication was seen and understood and showed to work by Tesla. But the big thing, which leads us into so much that Tesla showed was possible, showed would work, is what we call free energy technology. And in many ways this was his downfall, because the last thing that the system wants is free energy for everybody. And what I mean by that is free energy in the sense that you just tap into energetic, electrical, electromagnetic fields that are already there. And free in terms of once you have the technology in place, you can tap into it at no cost. Now, of course, this is the worst nightmare of the system, because it gives people the opportunity to have power for nothing, which means you have to serve the system less to earn the money to pay for the power. So he wasn't a popular guy once he started tapping into this knowledge. And the thing about free energy technology is that we're now seeing what level of reality that he was talking about tapping into. We have an understanding now, increasingly through an area of scientific research known as the electric universe, that we are surrounded by electrical and electromagnetic fields, that actually the great communication system within this, what I say is a simulation, is understandably through electricity. We interact with the universe electrically. The brain works electrically. The genetic system also works electrically, and what he saw was the potential of tapping into that electrical, electromagnetic level of reality and turning it into usable warmth and power, which brings me to climate change. this is something that those that are pushing the climate change hoax, I don't mean the people behind the hoax that have generated it, I mean those who have bought the hoax and push it and say we've got to destroy beautiful landscapes with wind turbines all over the world. They need to just take a breath and do a bit of research, because we're told that we have to go down that road of power generation because we have to stop burning fossil fuels. Actually, when you get into the breakdown of so-called greenhouse gases, right up into the 90% are clouds and water vapor. And CO2, generated in part by human activity, but vastly more by natural means, is only a tiny fraction of the greenhouse gas breakdown. So even on that level, the idea that human activity is changing the climate, nonsense. And there are scientists who are being suppressed and not given a platform who are saying too, it's nonsense. But let's say that it's true. Let's go down that road in terms of Tesla. We're told that we have to go down all the roads of wind turbines and all the rest of it, and cut fossil fuel use. But here, I mean, this man died in a New York hotel room in 1943. In the first half of the 20th century, he understood how you create free energy technology that doesn't involve fossil fuels. And he said it. He said that all around us, he said, is all the power we need without having to use oil or gas or coal. So here's the question then. Why, if it's so desperate for us to stop using fossil fuels, so it's claimed, why is the technology of Tesla to give us all the usable power and warmth we need from the atmosphere around us, why is that being suppressed by the very same forces that are pushing the climate change hoax? Because it is a hoax. And it's no good people saying, oh, well, maybe they don't know about the Tesla technology. So much of what we have today, high technology, is based on Tesla's understanding. For instance, something that's become notorious in the last 20 years or so is HAARP in Alaska, and so-called ionosphere heater, which fires very high-powered radio waves at the ionosphere in the upper atmosphere and then bounces them back at higher power, having got the ionosphere to vibrate in sympathy and increase the power. And they can change the weather, and they can create earthquakes. Tesla, for instance, was creating lightning above his laboratory using these techniques. He, at one point, had all the area around him vibrating like a mini earthquake, and all the windows were breaking because of technology that he was inventing and developing. So when you look at the patents for the HAARP technology, it even mentions Tesla. So they know all about it, and they know the potential of it. They absolutely know the potential for giving everyone free energy sources from the very reality that we're interacting with without use of fossil fuels. Why is this never mentioned? Because climate change, the hoax, is about justifying the transformation of human society in ways that I explain in the books and the talks. And that transformation cannot take place in the way that they plan if people have access to free energy technology, and thus the world doesn't have to then change. They have no excuse to change it in the way they want. And that's the reason why they say on one side climate change is destroying the world, brackets, nonsense, but on the other, they're suppressing this man's knowledge and this man's technological inventions that would transform the world. I mean, no one needs to be cold anymore. No one needs to be without power anymore. It's all there, and it's being suppressed. And this guy is still being acknowledged for the greatness that he brought to science. All these decades later, he was so far ahead of the game. And what people need to do today, not least the climate change zealots, is to get some research done, look into what this guy, Nikola Tesla, created and shown was possible, and then start asking yourself, why is this being suppressed at the very time we're told that we need to change the way that we generate power? Answer that, and the climate change hoax becomes blatantly obvious.